Hello, I'm Charles and welcome to my Hebridean Way adventure. 156 miles of beaches, moorland and amazing scenery. The first thing I had to do was to get to the Outer Hebrides. And for me that meant an exhilarating flight from Glasgow to the island of Barra, where the plane landed on the actual beach. Landed. That was one of the best flights of my life. The adventure begins. Welcome to the Outer Hebrides, and in particular the island of Vatersay, which is one of the most southern islands and also the southernmost start of the Hebridean Way. I cannot really find the words to express what a beautiful place this is. But if the Hebridean Way carries on like it started, it's going to be good. After months and months of planning, I'm at the start of the Hebridean Way. To actually be here in front of this iconic sign at the start of the trail feels really wonderful. Right, here we are. First steps on the Hebridean Way. Look at that! No, it's not the Caribbean or Barbados, it's the blooming Outer Hebrides. And look at that white sand, pale sea. It's fantastic, isn't it? So the Hebridean Way, it's supposed to be 156 miles. It will take me up to Stornoway. Now, apparently back in the day, the island of Vatersay was known for the quality of its beef herds and cows, and but unfortunately there was a 200-metre stretch of water between the island and Barra, and so every year they had to basically swim the cattle across this little gap to get them to market, until one year the prize bull drowned on the crossing, and that created a big stink and fuffle, and eventually a causeway was built, and you can see the quarry there where they dug out the rock to create this causeway, which is what we're going to walk over now. The first of many causeways on the trail. This is a pretty amazing place. There's the ruins of a roundhouse a couple of thousand years ago. Up on the skyline there's a couple of posts, and from now on we're going to be following those posts around the shoulder of this here hill. So as a fully paid up member of the Grumpy Old Git Club, I'm not usually one for enjoying uphill parts of a path. Usually I'm cussing and mumbling under my breath, but in a strange twist of fate, I'm actually enjoying this section of uphill. I know, worrying. The views are opening up. Every step I take, there's a bigger view of the islands. I reserve the right to change my mind after another mile or two of this stuff, but right now I'm quite enjoying this. I keep stopping to check it out. Look at that. I've just come over the crest of the hill, got that hill out of the way, and as I came over the top, this is the view that's greeting me here. America's that way. So in the dunes at the top of the beach now, in fact, we're descending to sea level right now. Right, there's got to be a bridge somewhere. Where's the bridge? I think it might be just a case of go for it and try out the feet later on. Hey, you're going to get a rare glimpse of my lower leg now. Okay, it's just a case of go for it, so here goes. Yeah. Right, so that's me pitched up in Borv. Quite a short day, only 5 or 6 hours walking, but quite hard work, and I'm playing the long game, giving my body, and in particular my legs, time to break themselves in. Well, I pitched the tent, had my tea, and everything's looking good, but I just want to let you hear the sound of the rain storm that's just hit the tent. Not sure if it's coming through okay, but it is so heavy. I'm so glad I'm not pitched up on top of the mountain now. Good morning! day 2, and what do you know? It's raining! Look at this. Absolutely soaking. It's going to be pretty miserable then, and the cloud is just hovering a couple hundred feet up on the side of the hills in front of me. Good spot for seeing famous birds of prey, in particular golden eagles. I'm not sure if I was a golden eagle that I'd be doing much flying today. This is my path, which is actually a stream. As I continued up the trail, the wind and the rain and low cloud shrouded the path. I just had to keep my head down and follow the clear path. I think I'm just about level with the bottom of the clouds now, but more interestingly, so the path carries on beyond that post. But between me and the post is a raging sort of flooded stream thing. Don't know how deep it is, so we're just going to go for it. Could get very wet. Let's see how it goes, huh? 1, 2, 3. Oh, it wasn't too bad. I've long since given up trying to keep the feet too dry. Another water splash, and then we've got a track. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. And another one. Oh. But look, a nice grassy track. Woohoo! Right, good news and bad news. Good news, I got to the ferry port and there's a cake shop. Very good news. Bad news is it's 11:37 and the next sailing's at 15:45, so I've got a wait of 3 or 4 hours in a cake shop. It's devastating news that when I got here, with every intention of spending 2 hours stuffing my face with cake and drinking nice coffee, the place had to shut down, burst pipe. Oh, this is it. This is what I was expecting from the Hebridean Way. Absolutely brilliant. The views and the light. Gorgeous beach. Absolutely beautiful and amazing. Right, things are looking up. I just stopped off at the Eriskay community shop, restocked with a few bits and pieces for the next day or two, and more importantly, they serve coffee, warm coffee. Cheers. The rest of today's walking is pretty straightforward. Road walking down to the causeway, which will mark the end of my brief visit to Eriskay. So hello, goodbye. And then we're on southwest. Look at me, soaking wet, but with a big grin. It's just that I'm actually absolutely loving this. I know, it's a bit breezy, the rain's coming sort of diagonally at my face, and it's absolutely brilliant. It's wild, it's exhilarating, it's a hell of an adventure. So don't mind saying I'm quite glad I'm here. So the sign says welcome to South Uist. According to my calculations, that's island number 4. I was happy to see the campsite emerging out of the rain. I pitched up quickly and settled down, with views across to the northern end of Barra. I've already lost track of the days. I think it's now Wednesday morning, but whatever, it's day 3. That would be Wednesday. Look! A blue sky. A blue sky. And just the merest breath of wind. So I just want to stop and take this in. Well, what words can you use? Lovely silvery sand, lovely curving bay in front of me, That's not a bad path to spend a morning walking on, is it? Smooth, grassy, and lovely underfoot. I'm so happy I'm here. This is what I was hoping the Hebrides would be like. Oh boy, I'm not disappointed. Coming up midday, so I've swung off the path. I'm heading over there to the golf clubhouse for hopefully a coffee and a sandwich. Well, this is the life. A well-deserved cup of coffee after a good morning's walk. Cheers. Oh my gosh, there's only one word for this. Medic! That is crazy. That is what was it, I wonder? It's a bit small for a whale, but it's seen better days. That's huge. So give it some scale from one end to the other, 6 meters. Whoa! I'll tell you, it's just as well you can't smell through the screen because the stench of that rotting corpse is drifting downwind towards me as I walk away. Nice. I've got this beach to myself. This is stunning. I'm going to do you. Look around. Nobody else. Beautiful pale sand. Lovely sea just gently washing in. Big blue sky. This is absolutely brilliant. And the next landmark, if you like, I can see on the horizon is a ruined castle. Been on this path for seems like most of my life now. I wonder what the lapwing words for shut up are. I'm at Howmore, and those cluster of buildings there is the hostel at Howmore. So I popped in there because, well, I had a bit of a choice. So I could stay there, or I could carry on and do another 2 or 3 miles. Seems like there's quite a few people staying there tonight. Not very friendly. Combination of needing to put a few more miles in, not really feeling it at the hostel, and it is a beautiful evening now coming up, and I'm back on the trail. Well, time's marching on. It's 6:15 now, and I've been walking along. No sign of anywhere to pitch. The ground's very tussocky, peat bogs, heather. You get the idea. I mean, the fact that there's a boardwalk kind of tells you all you need to know about whether it's going to be a good spot to pitch a tent. Well, look at this. Smooth, dry, green, even a few daisies. It's absolutely blissful, absolutely perfect. I've got a little spur of the lake here. Gonna get this pack off, get the tent up. Yes! Good morning. It's about 7:30 in the morning. I'm packed up and ready to go. It's some kind of a record for me, but I got a few miles to tick off today, so I wanted to make a nice early start. I'm trying to find the words to express to you how lovely this feels here right now. Absolutely blissful. Absolutely blissful. Idyllic. Let's bring on another idyllic day, shall we? This is my 4th day on the trail now, and even after yesterday's quite long day, I'm feeling physically good. My legs are feeling good. My feet, fine, absolutely fine. am I tempting fate right now? Should I just keep quiet and see what happens in a few days' time? But so far we're doing absolutely fine. Here she is, a famous, very famous landmark on the trail, and in fact on the Isles, the Lady of the Isles statue there. And the symbolism isn't totally lost on people who sort of, just above her on the hill is the control station and the radar station for a missile range that she overlooks, which is down on the flats over there. Looks like my feet are going to get wet again. Squelch, squelch, squelch. I want to give you a flavour of this section of the path and what it's like to walk on it. And you can see the path isn't very distinct. There are marker posts every few hundred meters, but in between them it's really a case of find your own path. Well, luckily I think that's the end of the boggy section for a while anyway. So the next thing I'm looking forward to is a co-op shop called Causeway. I might just pop in for a cooling drink. That's where you'll see me next. On my way to the fifth island now, I think it's fifth island, Benbecula. Well, that was only half an hour, but it seemed like forever along that road section, but things are looking up. Oh, this is more like it. Suddenly those miles of road walking seem quite justified actually. Is this the best beach I've been on so far? It's a contender. Right, 3 or 4 miles of beach walking, bring it on. How do you capture this in words? It's just pure beauty, isn't it? An arc of white sand, pale blue sea, big skies, and nobody around, just me. Right, I made it to Benbecula in very good time, hooray, and look what I got. 1 resupply parcel safely collected from the post office. So now I'm at the Stepping Stones restaurant, going to get myself some food and some coffee. Good morning, back on the trail. I think it's Friday morning, in fact it is Friday morning, and today has dawned, I think we could say gloomy. Gloomy is the word of the morning. So after miles and miles of road walking, this marks the end of the tarmac and the start of the track again. And it's going to take us up to the top of that hill pretty soon. I'm really pleased to be back in some nice countryside. Look at this lovely lake. Ooh. That's the good news. Bad news is up there, just under the cloud, Ruabal, my next stop. Oh, hello again. So that is the top of Ruabal. I've just come down. One nice thing about this path is it hasn't been too heavily walked, so the trail isn't always that obvious and muddy, but even so, on sections like this, it's extremely wet, and you're really hopping from dry spot to dry spot. And if I swing around, this is the next few hundred yards. There's a couple of marker posts I can see, but between me and the marker post is low, wet squelchiness with heather tussocks. Marvellous. Grimsay, island number 6. I timed it. I was on the island of Grimsay for exactly 14 minutes. So island number 7 is North-Oost, and yet another causeway. Today has been a day of causeways. Well, it looks like finally you got to the end of that section of road, and now we're going to turn off onto the trail again. But then I had a change of heart as a very nice campsite came into view. Good morning. By my reckoning, it's Saturday morning. Hope so. And I'm on the trail already, nice and early this morning. On a bit of a mission today, because I was a softie and went for the comfy campsite yesterday with all the benefits that offered. It means that today I want to make up a few miles. I have a feeling today is going to be a good day. I don't know why, I just got that feeling in my bones and I'm quite looking forward to it. So bring it on. I've just come around the corner and I caught sight of, well, I'm going to say the bridge, or possibly the remains of a bridge over this creek. I think it's passable, but oh my gosh, it's looking a bit second best, isn't it? Okay, so here we go. And of course, when you're attempting to cross a rickety, half-broken bridge, the best thing is to hold a camera in one hand. Oh, okay, solid as a rock. I'm feeling for movement. I think we're good. And then I reached the famous statue of Hercules the bear. So I'm on the long road section between Laxay Woods and Lochmaddy at the moment. Wow, that was well over 6 miles of road walking in the burning sun. So got a little bit tedious towards the end, and I'm so glad, I can't believe I'm actually saying this, I'm so glad to be heading off the road and up a hill. I think I've probably crossed over the halfway mark on the trail as well. So it's a homeward stretch now. The views, absolutely fantastic. I could see the Cuillin on Skye, the Trotnish Ridge on Skye. I've arrived in Benbecula, and this is the ferry terminal. I cannot tell you how pleased I am to be here, and I'm going to be pitching my tent somewhere over there, ready to catch the ferry first thing in the morning. The early morning was clear and still. The ferry weaved its way through islands and hidden channels towards the small port of Leverburgh on Harris. Oh, look at me all bundled up. It's Sunday morning, and I'm on island number 9, Harris. This is a typical old constructed path where basically they've dug a ditch either side and lumped the soil up in the middle to raise it up a bit from the bog. It's really beautiful moorland around here, and the trail is twisting and turning its way through the tussocks. Wow, what a contrast. 10 minutes ago I was thrashing over boggy moorland getting down to this beach, and here I am now walking on white sand again. Wow, just wow. The sun's come out. It was raining a couple of hours ago. The sun's come out, and the sea, the colour, I hope it's coming through okay. It's this beautiful pale green blue turquoise colour. Absolutely enticing, absolutely beautiful. If you want a postcard image for the Outer Hebrides, then take this. Been on the trail for a week now. Really into it now. My body knows it, that's for sure. So, but actually, having said that, legs seem to be fine. Just a bit tired going up hills these days. Happy days. Long may it continue to the end of the trail. And if the weather stays like this for the next few days, then, well, that would be amazing. Good morning again, everyone. And what a morning we've woken up to this morning. Bright sky, lovely and warm. Not a bit of condensation on the tent either. Bit of a bonus. I'm really not sure which way to go. Today, about 17 miles to Tarbert. So I'm going to go there, hopefully get there in time to pick up my resupply. Ooh. Give me a second whilst I catch my breath. That was a bit of a pig of a climb. I'm absolutely dripping now, probably looking a bit flushed, but look at those views that the climb has opened up behind me. It's a beautiful still morning, not much of a cooling breeze unfortunately, but the sea is very calm. It's a little boat coming in across the bay, and the golden sand coupled with the pale greeny blue of the sea, and the mountains in the distance with the caps just in clouds still. The view is of the coast in front of me and lochs and little lakes there. Oh, it's turning into a hot afternoon. Every now and again I get a wisp of a nice cool breeze off the sea, but between that, ooh, it's a bit hot. Tarbert eventually came into sight, with the ferry to Oban just departing. Yay, I love it when a plan comes together. Resupply parcel. Right, I'm leaving Tarbert behind now, which is a bit of a shame because I spent a happy hour or two there. Just come over the top and I've got my first glimpse of the valley that I'm going to be walking into and hopefully finding somewhere to wild camp. Right, here we are. Beautiful valley on a warm, sunny summer's evening. Right, there it is, pitched in not a bad spot. In the end, we lucked in by the lakeside. Beautiful warm evening, the sun's just setting. So I'm going to get myself inside the tent, get some food and settle down for the night. The problem with streams is they run along the bottom of valleys. Once you've crossed over one, inevitably there's a climb up the other side. From here on, the path follows what looks like the old road down that kind of cuts a corner over the new road. So it's all looking good. And I'm wondering if those two birds I can see over there are eagles. They blooming are. I think they're sea eagles. See if I can get them on camera. Oh, I made up. I was really hoping I'd see some eagles on the walk. Oh, that's so wonderful. That's a real highlight of the trip. Beautiful weather, just a bit of cloud cover, so every now and again you get a cloud cooling things down a little bit in the trail. The path is grassy, smooth and downhill, winding gently around the hillside. And look at the views that I've got. This is why I do through hiking and wild camping. Interestingly, I'm about to enter into some woodland. And somewhere up there's a hill, and apparently from the top of the hill, the views are very good. Well, I'll tell you what, they were right! I think I've found a pretty good pitch for tonight. And look at this, right next to the path with a babbling stream just below. Tent's up in a fantastic spot. I came down the path and spotted this lovely raised area with a fantastic view, and that was that decision made. I'm here and I just enjoy our perfect evening in the Outer Hebrides. Good morning, and it's a very different feel to the weather this morning. Damp, overcast, gloomy, still. Well, the weather forecast says that the wind's picking up through the day and we're going to get gales and gusts tonight. I have to say I'm a bit disappointed, more than disappointed actually. So this is the Historical Society at Kinloch, which has a tea room, but it's closed today. Well, so much for me grumbling about the opening hours of the cafe. I was stomping around looking grumpy outside, and a lovely lady, Jenna, came out, said hello and invited me into the museum. Even gave me a cup of tea and some biscuits. So I'll take it all back. Kinloch Historical Society, lovely people, and made me feel very, very welcome. The wind's picking up and it's a little bit of rain forecast. In fact, one of the forecasts is for heavy rain, strong winds overnight, and I'm heading out onto the moor. What I'm going to do now is, from now on, look out for somewhere possibly to pitch that's a little bit sheltered. Right, there we are, all set up. It's looking pretty tight and quite sheltered as well, so let's get inside and get all nice and warm and dry. Right, hello everyone. I'm definitely glad that I made the decision to pitch here before I got up onto the exposed moor, because it's going to be a wild and windy night. Anyway, great day's walking today, mostly over moorland, which I really enjoyed. Up and down on a path around some beautiful lochs and beautiful scenery. So hopefully more of the same tomorrow morning. All right, everything's packed away in the rucksack. And the last thing to do is put away the tent. But can you hear that rain? It's quite heavy outside. So just sitting here in the dry to the last possible minute, hoping that the rain will die down quite soon. I don't really fancy going out in this. Yeah, after so long on the trail, I feel reasonably fit, and so the hills aren't causing too much of a problem for me. It's really great. It turns out a really great finale to the trail. Yeah, what a great morning's walking. A bit windswept and weather beaten after that couple of hours walking, but that's the end of the moorland section. I'm back on road now for the rest of the trail. Right, so now stashing the walking poles, getting my head down and heading into town. It was a never-ending road that took me towards Stornoway, with a harsh, cold wind blowing against me. My thoughts reflected on the past 10 days, until eventually the gates of Lewes Castle appeared. Ha ha ha! What have we here? Yes, it's the end of the trail. Yep, after 156 miles, I'm here to the end of the trail, and what a trail it's been. Right, now where's the tea shop?